Economic capital begin today's edition of Prime News in the Southwest region, where the population of Bambuti, a neighborhood in Boya Chief Town of the Southwest, have complained about the indiscriminate disposal of cow dung at the slaughterhouse, which could lead to a health crisis if nothing is done. Adding some with details in the
of the environment and the Boya Council to quickly intervene and come to their rescue, as the air they now breathe is highly polluted by the odor emanating from this slaughterhouse. They now say it is time for this slaughterhouse to be transferred to a nearby stream where houses are not close, or better still, an isolated area, since the butchers do not care about the consequences of their activity amidst the denizens. While hoping for the authorities to react as soon as possible, finding a solution to their problem, the inhabitants living in this neighborhood in Boya are bound to endure much more, risking their health as they have very little or absolutely nothing to do facing this particular problem.
In the Northwest region, a SOCA security company has debunked information circulating on social media and other media outlets that General Ewane, director of the Presidential Security, is owner of a SOCA security company. This was during a press conference organized in Bamenda, Northwest region of Cameroon, as Charles Kiba tells us.
Some media outlets of recent carried stories that the SOCA security company is owned by one Major General Ewane, director of the Presidential Security, was for this note in a press briefing Saturday, February 19, 2022 with media men and women. The SOCA security company denies link with Cameroon's military general. So Joseph, CEO of SOCA security company, noted another information they have. An article published by a news site also claims the British High Commissioner to Cameroon contacted SOCA security to provide guarding services for its officers and staff, courtesy of the Major General, the release noted. So Joseph, CEO of SOCA security, frowned at those spreading fake news, said information should be verified before published.
This press conference because of the false, let me call it false rumor going around some social media and press that the SOCA security is owned by General Ewane, who is a close personality to the head of state. And we have invited media men to come so that we can clarify on this false rumor, so that we're able to debunk this false information. So you're all welcome, and I want us to focus just on that, so that we give to the public the clarification on this false information.
Quiz if the publications described as fake news is an act to rein his security company, said there are focus on distancing from such information. But if the news agencies continue, we'll be forced to think of a calculated sabotage of the company. A SOCA security company used the press briefing to call on the news site organs carrying the fake news and falsehood to stop and do a rejoinder. Failure to other actions will be meted.
Fishermen and inhabitants of Mwambanga locality in the south region of Cameroon have protested against administrative bottlenecks in the management of a fishing center constructed in 2006 by the state. The angry protesters are calling on the replacement of the current director, Nolinga, and they complete the story.
Enough is enough. This is the reaction coming from the fishermen at the Mwambanga Beach, a locality in the south region of Cameroon. The community of fishermen is decrying the poor management of this center, which was created in 2006 to support fishing activities and the well-being of the people. In addition to this, the fishermen are against the fact that local authorities here have privatized several activities, including the production of ice, which is the most integral aspect of fishing, as well as the management of electricity bills. Since 2006, we've been hoping that the beach will see development, but this is a far-fetched dream. The first two expenditures were covered by the community. The first was 300,000 francs and the second 288,000 francs. Today, we are being told that electricity bill alone ranges from 1,900,000 and sometimes 600,000 francs. That is, if our consumption rate is less, yet there is no maintenance. Worse still, the director continues to levy charges, even for the most minute services. There's no electricity, there's no water, there's just nothing. We are now cooking like strangers with dirty water. Why all this? They want to beat us? What for? If the minister can hear what I'm saying, then I'll be very glad. In a bid to get the attention of the state authorities, the fishermen, together with the support of the locals, went as far as placing barricades at the entrance of the beach. Exploitation and destruction of heritage are some of the accusations that have been levied against the director of the center, whom, according to the fishermen, was supposed to manage it for 5 years, but is now running through a 13-year mandate. People are tired. Things are not going the right way. There's no water, no electricity. We fetch water from the sea to serve our clients, which is not normal. First and foremost, this center is being poorly managed for the past 13 years. And in order to resolve the situation, a crisis meeting was held, chaired by the commissioner of the Ewane Police District, which saw the angry fishermen unblocking the barricaded main entrance.
Following the recent outbreak of cholera in the Nsah region and 5 other regions of the country, exposing raw food items and fruits in dirty environments, especially in markets, is becoming a cause for concern in the Nsah region. To this effect, Nsah regional correspondent Colette visited some markets in Yaoundé, the nation's political capital. She brought back the following finding.
Is a common practice in most markets in Cameroon, with the city of Yaoundé not left out, where raw food vendors expose their food items beside trash cans for buyers to purchase. Most often, these food items, especially the perishable ones, which cannot be overcooked in order to kill germs, turns to food poisoning to humans.
To sell under the bench, we don't have cholera. For example, we have COVID-19 because it's dirty.
Recently, there have been cases of ill health after consumers eat these food items. Sometimes fruit and vegetables from such areas of the market, if not properly washed, can result to ill health.
People saying that food places are not very clean, and they want to close up areas because there's a break out of cholera, or people have a lot of diarrhea, especially in under 5. It is in how food is handled. If somebody is going to handle food with dirty hands, then there is a possibility that you're going to transfer the bacteria from your hands and to that food. If I'm experiencing signs and symptoms of what might seem like food poisoning, and maybe about half an hour later it is worsening, it is trying to resolve, then I would actually want to go to hospital. And
having somebody put poison or chemical in your food, coming to refrigerators, if you don't follow the prescribed or best practice in terms of storage of food in your refrigerator, then you're likely to get food poisoning. And how is this? When you're storing food in your refrigerator, you need to be careful how you do it. You need to store your food in containers that do not allow for leakages, or even foil paper or cling that does not have leakages, because what happens when you store food and there's leakages to other foods, then you're likely to get food poisoning. And as we say, your family is the most important, so it's important for you to store your food in the right way in the refrigerator to avoid leakages or contamination with other food, therefore causing food poisoning.
Irrespective of these risks at hand, consumers still purchase food items from such exposures in the market. Going by most of these vendors, they blame their activities on such dirty places on government's inability to allocate selling places in the market, and some on fast turnover in such positions, since most of these places are by the roadside in most markets. However, if proper care is taken and lives of everyone considered, foodstuffs will be exposed in clean places in markets in Cameroon.
To education, First Choice Crypto Academy, the leading institution in cryptocurrency, has graduated over 200 job seekers. The graduation ceremony took place over the weekend at Hotel Biplos, Akwa Douala, Cameroon. Get full details right ahead. In Nelson Mandela's words, a good head and good heart are always a formidable combination, but when you add to that a literate tongue or pen, then you have something special, which is education. Sunday, February 20, 2022 is another remarkable date that adds to the history of First Choice Crypto Academy, as it graduates over 200 job seekers who have received adequate skills and knowledge that will enable them make money from the financial market.
This is a sector where Cameroon has seen, and they are working on legalizing it. This is a sector I call on every Cameroonian to engage in, because it's the future. These are skills that when you gain it in the 21st century, you are relevant. This is a sector where we count money in dollars. It feels very good to work your money in dollars and spend in francs CFA. We train crypto traders to be professional and profitable traders, people that actually make money from the financial market. We have trained even somebody with first school that is succeeding in the financial market.
Apart from being a moment to celebrate success, it was also an opportunity for the CEO of First Choice Crypto Academy to educate Cameroonians of the benefits they stand to gain.
Today we are graduating over 200 of them. We have students in Tanzania, we have students in Dubai, we have students in America, we have students in Europe, all parts of the world. Anybody can be part of this academy. And we don't only train them, we help them raise capital. Most of these students will make 3 to 6 million within the next 3 to 6 months, based on our strategy and based on everything we do. We raise them not only to master crypto, we raise them to be professional traders.
Graduates reiterated the fact that First Choice Crypto Academy has gained their trust from the quality of training they received.
I'm very proud to be part of the First Choice Crypto Academy. I never believed as a lady I could become a crypto trader, but today I'm proud to stand here and say I am a proud trader, and I pray for more strength. I pray to make myself more valuable in the society and to bring more impact my generation, especially ladies.
I got interested in this academy because I realized that it was going to fulfill the dreams I had very long. When I started a career many years ago, I thought that it was going to satisfy me and my family. But somehow I realized that I served the nation, I've served the public, but I have not really served myself. So I realized that working was not necessarily for money. So it is time to make money. Even at the time I have to retire from service, I continue to make money.
The graduation ceremony, which took place at Hotel Biblos, Akwa Douala, also saw the launching of the institution's main project, First Choice Global Network, and the presence of its partners. On to health, the World Health Organization says at least 90% of the world's population is breathing air that can cause chronic respiratory diseases such as coronavirus, as polluted air is responsible for increased cases of COVID-19 globally. Bokenga Wadi with details in the following report.
COVID-19 burden around the world keeps increasing with new variants, mutations, and subvariants, with barrier measures put in place to help reduce the surge and curb the spread, which is being practiced in many countries worldwide, though with minimal positive results in most countries. The World Health Organization says the numbers for COVID-19 cases may also be triggered by air pollution for many reasons than one.
Long-term exposure to air pollution will affect your immune system and therefore will make you more susceptible to any type of respiratory diseases. And obviously COVID-19 is a respiratory disease. In addition to that, we know that exposure to air pollution will increase the risk for chronic diseases like cardiopulmonary, like metabolic diseases, diabetes. And we all know now that those diseases are the so-called comorbidities that will increase the risk for more severity and even lethal outcome if you are a patient with COVID-19.
According to Dr. Maria Nera, air pollution accounts for many respiratory diseases and infections, including coronavirus.
When you have more than 7 million premature deaths every year, every single year, associated with exposure to air pollution. I'm sure that everybody agrees that this is a major public health issue. Actually, 9 every 10 people around the world, particularly those living in cities, are breathing air that is not consistent with what WHO consider the good standards according to our air quality guidelines for breathing and still be healthy.
Planting more trees, using alternative sources of energies, amongst others, are some ways to help reduce air pollution, as well as some respiratory diseases triggered by air pollution.
Clearly, the best way to reduce air pollution will be stop burning fossil fuels. I mean, that combustion of the fossil fuels is contributing not only to climate change, but to generate this high level of pollutants that then end up in our lungs. So changing that policy around which source of energy we are using will be one of the most effective.
It is worth mentioning that prolonged exposure to air pollution can lead to chronic bronchitis, lung cancer, leukemia, lung failure, asthma, pneumonia, stroke, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, cardiovascular diseases, problems, nerve damage, occupational pulmonary disease, and many more, which can be life-threatening over time and also leaving the body with a weakened immune system, thereby creating a path and place for coronavirus to settle in our system over time.
Away from health, the 27th edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope, which took place in Boya on Saturday, February 19, saw Elvisa Bilanthataka winner from the Northwest region emerging winners of the international competition. Relive the moment with Audrey Zatza.
February 19, 2022 will remain an unforgettable day for the Northwest region of Cameroon, as 2 natives of the region, like previous years, Elvis and Sambinla and Tata Karim, emerged champions in the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope in the male and female categories respectively. The marathon, which kick-started at 7 a.m. with 550 athletes, had a course from the Moliko Omnisport Stadium in Boya to the summit of the mountain and back of 38 kilometers, with a huge population acclaiming the participants from different regions and countries. In 5 hours, 28 minutes and 20 seconds, Tata Karin, winner of the female category, challenged the Chariots of Gods, being the first to reach the top of the mountain, despite fatigue and on the verge of giving up.
This race, I did not encounter any difficulties. It was when I reached that they told me that somebody was already coming behind me. I was very tired. I was calculating that all my struggle going up to summit would go in vain. I decided to start forcing. So when I crossed the line, I just fell down because I used all my energy.
A victory which she attributes to her many months of training at the mountain with her coach.
I feel very happy, especially going up to summit first. You know, I've been winning the race three times. I've never been to the summit first. Kenyans are the one always been to the summit first. So this year I am very, very happy for myself, and I want to thank my coach for giving me enough training that could take me up to summit first and back in the field first.
Other winners, Kitan Midred came second with a time record of 5 hours, 28 minutes and 50 seconds, with Tumi Makrina occupying the 3rd position. While in the men's category, Godlove Gabsibum, 5-time winner of the race and supporter of this year's Mountain King, came second, followed by Adamu Issa. In both categories, the first backed home 10 million francs CFA, 7 million to the second, 5 million to the third, notwithstanding special prizes. The 2022 edition had 3 more categories of participants, notably veteran, junior, and relay male and female runners. The ceremony was presided over by the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Narcisse Moele Kombi, and equally saw the presence of some Cameroonian artists like Nyangono du Sud. Over the years, the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope has become one of the most important athletics events in Cameroon, as it is part of the sports meeting that continues to uplift Africa, and the number of foreign athletes who participate is constantly increasing.
The president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Ethofis, has set records straight with the Minister of Sports and Physical Education. In a letter addressed to Minister Narcisse Moele Kombi, Samuel Ethofis urged him to respect the status of FECA food catching. Kongwe completes the story.
The president of Cameroon's Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, has set the record straight with Sports Minister Nsah concerning the right to extend the Indomitable Lions head coach's contract or not. In a communique recently addressed to the Minister of Sports and Physical Education by the FECAFOOT president, pointing out that the ministry in no way has right to determine whether the coach stays or leaves. A decision which is contrary to that made by the Minister of Sports on maintaining coach Nsah as the Indomitable Lions head coach. In this light, the president of FECAFOOT, Samuel Eto'o, has pointed out to the minister that the law gives FECAFOOT full rights over the hiring and firing of coaches for the national team selection. Still contained in the communique addressed to the minister, FECAFOOT president has informed him that the fate of the coach will be decided by the federation and be communicated to the ministry subsequently. Following Cameroon's elimination from the African Cup of Nations held at home, many have called for the coach to be fired and replaced with a local face. As something it may be a gamble, given Cameroon is preparing an important tournament, the World Cup qualifier playoff, in less than a month from now. On his part, the sport minister has also argued that introducing a new phase might stagnate the growth of the team, which has found cohesion in recent games.
Now, Ranger FC of Bafut has emerged champions of the maiden edition of the Northwest Pre-Season Solidarity Tournament after thrashing Rainbow FC of Bamenda 3 goals to 0. The local organizing committee president G. Nelson Chefo disclosed that though the tournament ended successfully, they witnessed lots of challenges. Charles Giwa reports from Bamenda.
Rangers FC of Bafut over the weekend in Bamenda at the St. Paul Field Maitri Nkwen. Bamenda 3 subdivision emerged champions of the maiden edition of the Northwest Pre-Season Solidarity Tournament with 8 teams that took part in the competition. Rangers FC of Bafut defeated Rainbow FC of Bamenda by 3 goals to 0 during the finals. Bafut Rangers FC Vice President Samuel Ngwambe told the press his team has a formidable squad ready to move up to Elite 1. Appeal the Northwest region be given a football field. To the local organizing committee president Nelson G. Chefo, the competition witnessed a lot of setbacks, amongst which were financial reasons and a playground. He applauded the 8 teams that took part in the maiden edition of the Pre-Season Solidarity Tournament.
Been able to achieve the objectives which we set at the beginning of this pre-season tournament. If you look at the level of competition that we had from all the 8 participating teams, that you will discover that even the teams at the level of the regional league were able to push our Elite 1 and Elite 2 clubs to their limit. Looking at the finals here this afternoon, Rangers FC playing against a regional league team, it shows that the competition was very, very difficult even for the Elite 1 and Elite 2 clubs. So generally we rate the success of the competition as satisfactory, and I want to thank all the teams that participated in this tournament.
With plans being made for a second pre-season tournament involving all Northwest Regional League clubs, Rangers FC of Bafut, winner of this year's Regional Interpol, will represent the region in the Elite 2 football.
And news out of Cameroon, staff lady Nora Kakebe visited Benin, Burkina Faso and Somalia. She brought back the following striking headlines.
In touring the African continent, our first stop is in Benin, where President Talon on Saturday inaugurated an exhibition of historic treasures returned by France in 2021, nearly 130 years after they were stolen by colonial forces. The 26 pieces, amongst which some are considered sacred in Benin, were displayed on Sunday in the Presidential Palace in Cotonou in a show entitled Benin Art, Yesterday and Today. The return of the artifacts by France comes as calls grow in Africa for Western countries to hand back colonial spoils from their museums. It should be noted that countries including Belgium, Britain, Germany, and the Netherlands have all received requests from African countries to return lost treasures. According to President Talon, the exhibition is equivalent to the pride and faith in what the people of Benin were, in what they are, and in what they will be. The Minister of Culture in Benin added that the exhibition was simply returning to the people of Benin part of their culture, history, and dignity. Meanwhile, in Burkina Faso, thousands of demonstrators converged on the capital, Ouagadougou, to show their support to the military who seized power in January after overthrowing elected President Roch-Christian Kabore. Many of the demonstrators waved Russian flags and held anti-France banners. It should be recalled that back in 2015, Burkina Faso faced a wave of jihadist violence which left more than 2,000 people dead. The demonstration on Saturday was aimed at blocking a French military convoy that has been trying to reach neighboring Niger from the nearby city of Kaya. Many in Burkinabe are upset with France's role in fighting against Islamist militants and have therefore directed their anger at French forces. And in Somalia, at least 15 people have been killed as a suicide bomber blew up himself at a crowded restaurant in central Somalia. The victims included mostly civilians and many others who incurred severe injuries. According to eyewitnesses, the scene of the bomb blast was very chaotic and bloody. Security forces reached the area firing live bullets in the air, trying to disperse people who flocked to the scene of the blast. This attack comes at a time when the country is preparing for the presidential election, scheduled for February 25, 2022.
Nora Kakebi's tour on the African continent ends today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime Television. My name is Fon Quinter. Coming up just after the news is Prime Eye with Kum Leonard and his team. Have a great evening in the company of more programs on the African Eye. Bye.